Good afternoon. So yesterday we talked about power supplies. I was wrong on the price. What I was actually wanting to recommend, which was the EVGA 500 bronze. It's $50 at Newegg instead of the price I kept saying of $70. Replacing the processor is a little more complicated, simply because you have to be a lot more careful, and there's a messy part to the process. If your store-bought computer has an Intel, you're going to have to remove the stock heatsink fan whenever you buy your processor. Just buy an i3 or an i5. You don't really need, with that motherboard, you don't need a whole lot of horsepower from the processor, because you're not really going to be able to unlock its full potential. Intel processors do not have what is called pins on the bottom of it. They have connections. And the pins are actually in the motherboard. So whenever you take out the old processor, you're going to want to be super careful. If your store-bought computer has an AMD, whenever you buy your AMD processor, which will most likely have to be an FM2 or FM2 Plus processor. Yeah, it's weird. It's also called an APU. You're going to want to be careful when taking that processor out of its case, because the actual processor itself has pins, and those plug into the socket on the motherboard. Intel does not have pins. The motherboard has pins that connect to the processor. Intel's kind of weird, but awesome in that respect. They leave it up to the manufacturer to provide a quality part in that respect, where they just manufacture the processor that it's connected to. It's interesting, it's neat. And that's one thing I really do wish that AMD would take from Intel if they could, but it's not going to happen. And whenever you go to put them in, they really can only go in one way. There are notches in the processor and on the AMD there's a little golden triangle that you have to line up with a triangle on the socket. I mean, really, they can only go in one way. If it's not going in easily, flip it around, rotate it. It'll slip in there a lot more easily. With the AMD counterparts, it's kind of weird, like I said, because they have pins. You have to be really, really careful, because you got to get those pins into the holes and not force it. It should just drop in, and if it doesn't, then you have a little bit of an issue. So you need to, if it's not falling in nice and easy, pull it out, rotate it 90 degrees, try putting it back in. If it doesn't go in nice and easy, rotate it another 90 degrees and try again. If it still doesn't work, rotate it another 90 degrees and put it in. If it doesn't work that time, that means you've got a bent pin, and you need to take a look at every single one of those pins to see if it's bent. And then take a mechanical pencil, preferably 0.05 or 0.07, and very gently ease that onto the bent pin, and then use that to straighten it out just a little. Don't put a whole lot of stress on it. just very gently straighten it out so that you can try dropping it back into the socket all over again. Like I said, there's a little golden triangle on the top of the CPU, of the AMD CPU, and there's a triangle on the socket. You line those up, and it should drop right into place. Intel is a little easier. They have notches, and it can really only go in one way. And you don't have to worry about a bent pin on the processor. What you have to worry about is a bent pin in the motherboard. If there's a bent pin in the motherboard, you cannot do a simple fix like you can with the AMD. Now, most off-the-shelf computers come with Intel, whether it's a Celeron or a Pentium or even a lowly i3. Actually, if you have an i3, that's awesome. You don't have to upgrade, just get a new video card. But if it has a Celeron, you're going to want to upgrade, because those things have always been a piece of junk. So what you'll do is get a flat tip screwdriver, just a smaller one, about where the head's only about that wide. Put it in each of the posts, rotate clockwise, push down, rotate clockwise on all four. That releases the lock on the post so that you can take the heatsink and fan off of the motherboard. Now you're going to have to wiggle it just a little bit while you're pulling on it because of the thermal compound that the manufacturing company used. Then you'll want to get 90% or better isopropyl alcohol to clean the thermal compound off of the processor. Use a lint-free cloth if possible. Make sure it's nice and clean. Now, whenever you go to turn it on, you're not going to get very far. You're going to need to get some thermal compound. If you bought a processor, the thermal compound that comes on the heatsink fan that came with your processor is perfectly fine. It's not the greatest, but you're not overclocking, so it doesn't really matter too much. If you buy an aftermarket cooler, for example, the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. If you buy that, it comes with Cooler Master thermal compound, and you'll want to put about a grain of rice worth on there in the center. And then whenever you put the aftermarket heatsink fan, it'll smush it out evenly, so you don't have to worry about spreading it out yourself and making a huge mess. Some people prefer to. Some people prefer just using the grain of rice and letting tension do the rest, because as you tighten up the aftermarket cooler to the processor, it naturally causes it to spread out. If you're using the stock heatsink fan that came with your processor, you don't have to worry about it. It's pre-applied. Take the plastic cap off, slap it on, lock the posts into place, just like, go counterclockwise this time, and you're done. Plug the little power cord that comes off the fan into, it'll say on the motherboard, CPU fan. Plug that into that fan header. It can only plug in one way. The power connector has a notch in it, and there's a post on the fan connecting header, so that they all just line up. And you're done. You turn on you plug in your power supply, you turn on your power supply, you turn on your computer, and you're, bam, in there. You're done.